Hey friends, I am so excited to share with you our learning intention and success criteria for our new math unit. We're going to try and go through this pretty quickly today so that we can get to our fun stuff over on the smartboard, but I pinky promise we're going to come back and we're going to talk more about some of these super special fancy schmancy words. Remember, a learning intention is what we want to be able to know and learn by the end of something, by the end of this unit. And the success criteria are going to be all the different things that help us get there. All right? So right now in math, we are learning, as mathematicians, we will subitize and decompose numbers to 10. Okay? So remember, mathematicians are people who do math. You got it. And you may know about subitizing and decomposing already because we talked a little bit about it in kindergarten, or you might not, and that's okay too, because by the end of this unit, you will know all about subitizing and decomposing. Now, these are the things we're going to focus on as success criteria, the things we should be able to do to know we've learned it. That's why it says, I can, because I know that you can do these things as steps to get there. We are going to work through these the whole unit, right? So the one thing we need to be able to do is subitize. That comes right from our learning intention. Subitizing is when you look at something and you just know it. You think quick, all right? So we're going to be working on that today over on the smartboard. The purple one says, understand how numbers are taken apart. Did you know numbers can be taken apart? That's going to be tricky. I'll have to find out more about that. And then the gray one down the bottom says, use strategies to build my math fluency. Now, fluency is something that we already talked about in Letterland with Red Robot's reading race. We talked about him as a rusty robot, and we talked about him as a racing robot. There's also fluency in math. When you become fluent in something, you become comfortable using it and going quicker with it. And so we're going to have different strategies that help us get more comfortable and confident in math so that when we see a math problem, we can go, oh, I know how to do that, and then pick one of those strategies and get better at it just like that. So I'm actually going to turn it over to the smartboard. Like I said, we're going to come back to these throughout our unit and talk a little bit more about them, but I want to get to the fun stuff over there. So I'll see you soon. All right, mathematicians. So one of the things that we are going to do some of the days to warm our brains up is something called a finger flash. And you can see me over here in my little Bitmoji doing a snap. Can you snap like that for me, Miss Atwood? A snap.
Well, yours is louder than mine.
Because with a finger flash, we want to try and get quick, all right? And we also want to listen for Mrs. Peterson's fingers snap. Because what it says is, I am going to hold up some fingers the math way. So when I talk about the math way, I'm actually going to hold them up this way. And it's kind of a funny way for Mrs. Peterson because I can't get this finger up. So you're going to see me struggle a lot of the time, and you can try that too with me, right? Put your hands out like this and try and put your fingers up. This is our math finger way, and I get to this one and I just can't do it. Oh, it's a struggle, but I can get that one, all right? So I'm going to hold up some fingers the math way, but then after I show them to you, I'm going to hide them, okay? And it says, look carefully and say the number you see when I snap, okay? So I'm going to turn this off so it's not distracting. But Miss Atwood is going to be my student in this situation. She is going to look carefully at my numbers. She's going to try and store them up in her brain, right, Miss Atwood?
That's right.
She's not going to say them out loud, okay? She's going to wait for me to snap, okay? So if I turn this way, Miss Atwood, can you still see me? That way the boys and girls can see me too?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good? Okay. So we're going to start out easy.
Yep.
All right, we're going to do a couple, and we're going to make it a little bit harder.
Okay.
All right, boys and girls, are you ready?
Two.
Oh, she got it. Because I held up this, there's 1, 2. Was that pretty easy for you?
That's pretty easy.
All right, I might as well make it harder. Let's do
4.
Ooh, and I gave her a little wait time time, and she kept that up in her brain. Did you say 4 too? Because I went like this. Right? And then I put it away. That was 4. All right, let's do...
One.
Oh, she's good at this. Did you say 1? That was easy.
Yeah, easy.
Okay, I'll make it a little bit harder. You ready?
Five.
How did you know that was 5, Miss Atwood?
Because you only got 5 fingers on your hand.
It was a whole hand.
That's right. 5.
It's always going to be, if it's a whole hand, it's always going to be 5?
Always going to be 5.
Let's count and check and make sure. Ready? Put them all back down. 1, 2, 3, 4,
5.
You're right. Okay. So that's going to help us do these next ones. Like I said, I'm going to make it a little bit harder. Okay? Because you're going to see my whole hand. You're going to know that it's 5. But then you're going to see me put some extra up. So
Right.
any number that you say has to be more than 5.
More than 5.
Because this hand's going to stay up and these numbers are going to come after it. Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely.
Are you ready? Okay.
Seven.
How did you get 7?
5. We already know that's 5. 6, 7.
Look at that smart cookie. She didn't even have to count these. She just said 5 and then kept going 6, 7. Okay, all right.
Nine.
How did you know that was 9?
She had 5. Then 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 more. You're right. And it was 1 less. It wasn't all of my fingers. When I
Right.
have all my fingers up, how many would I have?
You are American note. 5 and 5 is 10.
Oh, so if this one was still down, it wasn't quite 10. It was only
9.
9. So you can think about it that way too. 5 and 4 more, or not quite 10. 1 less is
9.
All right, let's do one more, Miss Atwood. Are you ready?
All right, I'm
Okay.
ready. 8.
Oh, I didn't snap.
Oh.
She got so excited. She knew what it was. Gotta wait for this one. My Bitmoji says, oh, snap. Let's try it again. That was tricky. All right, it was 8.
6.
Good job. Hopefully you said 6 too. Oh, Miss Atwood, that's tricky. All right, so you've warmed up your math brain with a finger flash. And again, you can do that at your house with your families.
Yeah.
You can practice putting up fingers, showing them to somebody, and then hiding them. And if you can't snap, you can just say go or something,
Yeah.
you know, or put both hands behind your back and clap.
Right.
And see if they can remember how many fingers you had up. And you have to remember too. That's where it gets tricky. You can't just put up the fingers and then they
And
say a
don't
number.
remember.
You have
Right.
to remember so that you can check the other person. So that was our finger flash. But here's really our math thinking for the day today. Okay? See my face up there, Miss Atwood?
You're thinking hard.
Really gotta think about it. I have this story about my friend named Dora. And maybe you know a friend like Dora that likes to go outside and collect leaves. Have you ever done that?
Yeah. Because there are some really pretty ones.
Okay, well in this story, Dora's gonna get some leaves and we need to figure out how many leaves she ends up with at the end. So we really wanna pay attention to the different math things that happen in this story so that we know how to solve it. Okay, and figure out how many leaves she has at the end. Let's listen about Dora. It says, Dora found 5 leaves that blew in through the window. Then she found 2 more leaves that blew in. Draw a picture and use numbers to show how many leaves Dora found in all. Okay? So I have to go back and look at, do you see, Miss Atwood, how I kind of like underline some things? That's a strategy that mathematicians use to help things stand out that they feel like are important.
Yeah.
So if you look at this, what did I underline there?
5 leaves.
Why do you think I underlined 5 leaves?
Because that is how many that flew in the window. That's the important part. How many flew in the window.
Right, the number really has to be a part of the
Yes.
math thinking. Okay, so I want to know that 5 leaves is what came first. And then why do you think I underlined this part that says draw a picture?
So she said draw a picture. That means you're going to have to draw on paper that many leaves or that many marks.
Okay. So
Okay.
I'm going to use red because
Okay.
they're like fall leaves.
Okay.
Okay. And how many do you think I should draw?
5.
5. Can you count for me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Good.
Oh,
That's them.
and a stem. Yep.
Okay.
So it says draw a picture and
Use numbers.
so I drew the 5 leaves, but what's missing?
You need to put the number underneath each one.
Okay. Well, I think I'm just going to do
5. Okay.
like that. Does that sound okay?
Yep.
Okay. So Dora found 5 leaves that blew in through the window. I got that.
Mm-hmm.
Then she found
2
2 more. So I don't know if you can see that, but I have underlined. Can you roll out away for just 1 second, Miss Atwood?
2
There you
more.
go. She found 2 more. So if you were doing this job as the mathematician, what do you think you would draw next? Do you know, Miss Atwood? What would you draw?
It said 2 more leaves. So she's got to draw 2 more.
Right, I'm not crossing the leaves
Not crossing
off.
those out.
I'm not making the wind come in through the window.
No.
No, I'm paying attention to the math part of the story. And there has to be more than 5. I already have 5.
5.
These are new leaves. There are
Right.
2
2
more.
more.
So I'm going to make these kind of the spiky leaves.
Yeah.
Like oak leaves.
Mm-hmm. Pretty.
Oh, thanks. Okay, and did I do my job?
No, you got one more thing to do.
What do you think?
Remember, she put the number down below there, so she has to do the same thing here.
Oh, so if it said 2, I have to make sure I draw 2 and write the number.
2.
I see what you want me to do. Okay, so let's check with the story and see if we've done everything we had to do. I'm going to go back and reread. Okay, I have to check my work as a mathematician. So Dora found 5 leaves that blew in through the window.
There's your 5.
1, 2, 3, 4.
5.
Boom. Okay. Then she found 2 more leaves that blew in.
1, 2, 2.
Okay, draw a picture and use numbers to show how many leaves Dora found in all. Oh, Miss Atwood. Are we done yet?
Nope, we still got a little bit more to go.
Okay, so now that I have my 5 and now that I have my 2, how am I going to figure out that in all part? Because I see that's what I underlined as important. What should I do?
You've got to add those 2 numbers together or count them together.
Oh, so you mean that I have to have 5
5,
and
2
2 more. And I'm supposed to put the 5 and the 2.
together.
Did we just do that with our finger
We
flash?
did. We did.
All right, so let's, instead of counting all these 5, just start at 5 and then keep going
Keep
for the
going.
other 2.
Because you already know that's 5, so just keep going. But you add on the 2.
All right, you try it with me, Betty.
All right.
5, 6, 7.
7.
Oh, so that means over here I should write that number 7. So I know that if Dora found 5 leaves and then she got 2 more leaves, that she found 7 leaves
total.
in all. Total is another great word
Yeah.
to use for that. So that's it for our mathematician lesson for the day today, but there's actually something that you need to do for me on Seesaw. And it kind of goes with our finger flash, and it kind of goes with our story. It looks like this, okay? This is called a sprint. When I use that word sprint, what do you picture in your head, Miss Atwood?
Sprint means sort of sprint fast.
It's like when someone runs really fast, they sprint,
Yes.
right? So when we do this over and over and over again, you're going to get faster and faster and faster at being able to do it. Because this is our first time doing this sprint, it won't be a sprint just yet, okay? Your job with this is to look at the dots that you see, and in the box that's empty next to the dots, you need to use the pen tool on Seesaw to record how many dots you see. So there's an empty box here for the first set, and then if you come over here, there's another empty box for the second set, okay? So you're going to end up doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You're going to do 16, okay? Now, here's where it gets tricky, Miss Atwood. You can kind of see on this side that all of my numbers are little,
Yeah.
right? And then you can see on this side that there's definitely more dots happening over here, all right? So we want you to try your best not to count the dots, to try and look at the dots and know how many. Sprint.
Snap.
Sprint, all right? So it's probably going to be easy for you to do it on this side, and that's great. This is where we have to work up to, all right? So if you need to count the dots on this side, that's okay, all right? I want your answer to be correct and not just a guess, all right? So if you can really sprint on this side and count to check on this side, I'm okay with that for right now. I think we need to work up with being able to see those groups and count on and know to be able to sprint on this side. So at the end of today, you'll have watched this lesson with me and Miss Atwood about the finger flash, about the leaves, and you'll have done 16 dots on Seesaw. Sound good, Miss Atwood?
Good.
Awesome. Thank you for growing your mathematician brain with us today. I can't wait for you to tune in again tomorrow and see what we have next.
Good counting.